Hi and welcome back everyone. Today we're going to share another principle of play. We'll give you 2 more games to add to your ever-growing stockpile, and as always we'll give you our 3 top tips to help your teaching go even further. We are now on week 4 of our Invasion Games scheme of work. We've looked at movement and creativity, we've looked at pressure and patience, we've even looked at support play. This week we're going to look at cover. Cover is one of the defending principles, and that will help your children to work as a team to steal the ball back. So let's look at cover in this 3 versus 3 example. We've got a goalkeeper in each goal and 2 outfield players on each team. The covering defender is the second defender, or the second closest to the ball. Now, if they're really keen and flying to win the ball back, the opposition are just going to play around us, so that doesn't work. So you might think that marking the player is a good idea. So if we go player for player, we've now got another problem. If our teammate is beaten, we're not in a position where we can move across to help. The covering defender is going to be in a position where they can do 2 half jobs. They're close enough to either intercept the ball or put pressure on the opponent, but they're also in a position where they can quickly track back and apply cover for their teammate if they get beaten. Now that we know what cover is, let's get into the games. Our first game really helps children to explore and refine those cover skills. This is extreme 1-pin bowling. As children arrive at the PE lesson, you're going to set up several playing areas, each one with a hoop and a pin inside it, and children are going to organise themselves into a 2 versus 2 match. The attackers start with the ball and they work together as a team to try and craft opportunities where they can throw the ball at the pin. If they do this, then they score a point. Now that was pretty poor defending from the second defender. All they did was stand, which is no help. Now we see the second defender moving forward. Once our teammate gets beaten, we can get across just in time to make it difficult for our opponents to shoot and score. In this second example, the defender takes up the same position and we're almost close enough now to intercept the ball. Although we didn't manage to do it this time, we can still tag the opposing player, which wins the ball back for our team. Encourage children to have 3 goes each and then swap roles so that they both have a go at attacking and defending. Now we progress into a more game-based activity for the children, extreme 3-pin bowling. Each team is going to set up where they have 3 pins to try and defend. The attackers start with the ball and work together as a team to create opportunities to knock over one of their opponent's pins. If they're successful, then the pin stays knocked down and we now swap over roles. The defender becomes the attacker and the attackers the defenders. Remember that our main focus is on the defenders, supporting children in working as part of a team to win the ball back with great positioning of the second or covering defender. Both of these games allow for lots of repetitions so that children have ample opportunity to learn. And here are our 3 top tips. Our first tip is to switch up some of the equipment. Here, instead of the pins, you might have basketball hoops if the children enjoy basketball. You might also have football or hockey goals or even a try line. As long as children are working on the outcome of cover, it doesn't matter what vehicle or sport that they use to get there. In the same respect, if we want to practice reading out loud, it makes sense to use a book that we enjoy and not a book that we detest reading. Our second tip is give children time to refine. Naturally, they'll make loads of mistakes, so it's important that we allow them to work through this trial and error process, improving a little bit at a time. Eventually, children will start to figure out that fine balance between intercepting and putting pressure on the other team versus being in a position where we can cover for our teammates. And finally, encourage the covering defender to consider the movements of the first defender. If they move forward quickly, then so can we. If the first defender chooses to sit back, then we have to as well. But we need to make sure that we're still in a good enough position to offer that cover when needed. Ideally, the first defender will apply a little bit of pressure, which is what we worked on the other week. Thank you for watching everybody. I hope that you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, then please like and then share the video with anybody else that you feel would benefit from it. And as always, remember to subscribe so that you can catch next week's video. I'll see you then.